Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and we are up again today with an AlinaCraft Let's Make This. Right, so on Monday, if you saw the haul video, you will see that I was sent a die called a circus box. And as I said then, one of the great things is AlinaCraft always includes a finished picture. So there you can see it as the circus box. And she also includes the elements that are inside. Right, so it clearly tells you you've got to cut 1, you've got to cut 10. It's a 10-sided box. You cut 10, you cut 10, you cut 10, and they go together like this. And then if you flip it over, you can see you've got these, and she's telling you you've got to fold it and fold it down, and that one connects to that one. You get a little trim that goes on the base of here, and you also get a piece that goes up there. Now, where I differ is this. Now, first of all, I'm going to get the window piece, which is this. And I've cut one, and I've done it in white. And that's because, as I said on Monday, I was going to do a greenhouse, and then I said it was an arbour, and then I'd had so much caffeine, too many cups of coffee, I couldn't quite remember what it was called. And then yesterday afternoon it actually dawned on me, it's actually called a conservatory. Yeah, so there you go. I haven't had any coffee this morning, and it's a building in which you sit with your plants, and of course you can see your garden and the plants outside. So I've done mine in white. I've cut my arch piece, there you can see, in blue, because that's going to denote my window. Now, I could have cut it completely out and put acetate behind, but I was worried about the integrity of the sides of it as I was folding it. So if you want to have a go at just cutting this pattern straight out of your side pieces, then feel free to go ahead. Right, and this one, which is a frame, so this is my window frame, if you can see that, and then those all get glued together, so that what you end up with is this. Now you can see I've put tape down here and tape along here. The same needs to be done obviously on that one, and I'll run off and do that in a minute. But I just wanted to do it slowly so that you could see. And I've used Distress Oxide for my windows, and that is tumbled glass. Right, the next thing is this bit. So if I flip that over again, and once again you have to cut 10. So it goes that way around. This is the bit where you get this little shape here that's supposed to go here. But I'm just not going to bother doing that. I've decided I don't want to. And I'm going to explain the reason for that right now. And that is because I have used that little bit there along with the flowers and leaves. And I've turned mine into a little plant bowl. So rather than having it trimming off that section, it's actually going to be a plant bowl that goes in the window. And I've done 2 of those. And the other one, if I just quickly grab that, you get 2 butterflies in the set, a small and a large. And I've put a small one onto that one because I've decided I'm going to put one either side of what would be my door. Now I completely forgot to go and cut out another flower, because you get a little hole that pops out in the middle, which is why I put a gemstone in. But with that little round hole dot thing that comes out, that can be my door handle. So I do need to run off later and do that. Right, so then this piece here, which is supposed to be the trim top, I've decided to use as the window for my conservatory roof, which is going to go there. Now, as I've finished using that for now, I'm going to scoot those over so that you can see. And all you have to do, if you're going to do one of these, is make sure that you get them all even. And to help me with that, I cut a 1/2 inch strip of cardstock in a contrast colour that I can see, so that I could glue mine down and butt them up like that, so that all of my little roof window pieces are all the same height. Now here's one. I've run tape down there. This is AlinaCraft 5mm tape, and I also used the leaf that you just saw in that flower pot. I cut a piece out and I used it as a stencil. So I used my stencil brush, went through it, and this is in, let me have a look, Shabby Shutters Distress Ink, and I just decided to pop a leaf onto each one, and I have done 10 of those. So as you can see, there are now 10 of those. It didn't bother me if I was being accurate with my stencil, so they're, you know, probably in different places, but that is going to be the roof of the box. So I need to go and finish this one off. Now that you've seen the separate pieces, finish this one off, and I'll come straight back and we'll put it together. Okay, so I completed those, and I also realised that I did not show you the base. So that is the base. I've cut mine in heavyweight white cardstock. I cut it twice and glued them together so that it's nice and solid. So I'll just move that out of the way, but I just realised I forgot to show you. Right, the next thing that we need to do is connect them, and as with all things, these have got score lines, and no, I haven't folded them yet. Maybe I'm being brave, but I'm going to fold them right at the end once I've connected them. But you just need to peel your tape off. You can see the score edge there, that long deep line. And then what you need to do is take another, just pull this apart from here, and you want to line your point up. So that's the area of concern, just to ensure that you're lined up and you are just before. Now I haven't pressed it down yet, so I can still finagle. Just before that score line. That's the most important thing, because let's have a go here. Just make sure it's down. I'm going to go along there with my bone folder, and let's see if it folds. I may not have glued that down fast up there, but I'm pretty sure that's going to go where I need it to go. So I'm quite happy to keep doing it flat, and all we're going to do is just keep peeling these off, sticking them down, making sure that your point meets, and going down just before your score line. You never want to glue on your score line, because you won't get to be able to fold it. Right, I'm going to carry on sticking the other, I think 7 on, and I'll be right back. Okay, so at this point I've got all of my pieces connected, and now we need to finish it by joining the beginning and the end. So I'm just going to take that one off. And as I said, I'm pretty confident it's going to bend. She says with a smile on her face. And I just want to bring that around. Let's have a look. I just need it to be before that score line. So it could be that you've got to go in and tease your final edge inwards just a little bit. That's better, so that you can match it up and flatten it down. Right, so here's the roof. Now these pieces, according to the picture, get bent down, so I'm going to bend them. There is a glue area, if you can see there, a little point So that might be something I'll go off and do in a bit. So I just want to, I think doing alternates is the best, yeah. And then you've got room to do that one. But they all get pulled back up again. Tuck that bit in. Tuck that bit in. And you can go back and tuck that bit in. Right, I'll just finish tucking and I will be back. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the inside, and that is what it looks like from the side, and that is the way that it's going to sit on top of the box. Now in there you can see that there are these tiny little point tabs, and they are supposed to glue just to hold the shape of your box. Now personally I think that you can just kind of like fold those in a little bit like this and it doesn't really matter. But if you want to glue them, you know, go ahead. But it makes a lovely shape regardless, you know. So it almost looks like a flower, doesn't it? So that is the lid of the box complete. And now we need to do the sides. So I've moved that out of the way and I've got my base, which is here. Now I'm kind of thinking, do I make this in one long row or do I stick them on one at a time? And personally, you know, they're going to need folding. If you've got a bone folder, you know, do score them. I tend to just go along with my fingers. So what I will do is I will score all these. And because there's 10 of them, it takes a few minutes and then I'll come right back. Right, so I've folded them all and I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect them now that they're scored, and I'm going to do it side by side. And I'm going to do that for all of them. I'm going to leave the bottom tape on till right at the end. Once again, as I'm always saying, line it up just before your score line. Make sure that you're even and then give it a press. I'll do another one and then I'll go off and finish it. Need to make sure because that looks a little bit high up to me. There we go, and then secure it, and I'll just go and do the other 7. Right, so I've got all 10 of them connected here, and you can see it's one big long strip, and of course to make it finished it's got to go to here to the final one. But first of all it needs to go onto its base. Now I haven't removed any of these yet, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do it by removing all of them. And hopefully I've got no kind of fluff or anything on my desk. And then I'm just going to go in and fasten each one to each section on the base. So I'm just pulling all of my tape off here. And in fact what I think I'll do is I'll leave the last 2 with the tape on, so I've got something to play with if I need to. Now I need to put this in a position obviously where you can see it, but also so that I can see it. Right, so I've got my pieces folded up here. I'm going to go in with one. Right, okay. Now you definitely need to make sure your bits are bent over. You can see I've got my pencil stuck on there. So I'm just folding these in like this. Hope you can see that. And I'm wondering actually if it isn't better just to work upside down. So I'm just going to be brave, remove all of them and work upside down. So I've got my base here and let's go. smoothing that with my finger. Got that one down. Trying to bring it into a position where you can see it. Got that one. Smooth that one. Making sure that everything's in the right place before you press, because then you can just tease it back up if it isn't. And I hope that you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just folding it around as I go. And now I'm actually going to pick it up so that I can adjust it. Now I might be out by a fraction here. I'm not entirely sure yet. Find out when I get to the end. Now I'm at the end and I need to take this piece of tape out, and there's enough space to do that. So I just need to be able to push that in, and I'm putting it down flat here so that I can match it. Oh, that was quite easy. I shouldn't say things like that. But that was easy. And now just take your bone folder and go in and just make sure that all your tape is stuck down nice and firm. Right, so now decide which part of your box you quite like. As I said, this is going to be my door. So I've got my little hanging basket things, not hanging baskets, but little baskets that I made using a roof piece, and they're going to go there to the front of my box. Now if you wanted to make 10 of them, or should I say 9 of them, you could certainly go all the way around your box like that. But what I want to do with mine, I'm just going to move that to there for a second and close that, is I'm going to flip them over so that you can see the workings of them, because I'm going to use some of Alina's tape on the back. So I need a piece that's going to cover the basket. Make sure I haven't done that too long. I've got a bit there for there. My scissors are all completely gunked up. I've got another one to go onto there, and then I'm going to go for that quite solid area behind the largest flower, and pop a piece of tape in there, because of course you want it to be hidden. And if you wanted to, you know, stencil the areas that I've done as my windows, you know, or put photos in there, or even vintage images, you know, of a garden, that would look really beautiful. And you could do it, you know, very vintage looking with your craft and your black cardstock and whatnot. Right, so this is my little one that's going over to my left, so that's going to go here. So I've got one little basket there, and then this is my door, and then the one with my butterfly I'm going to have here. And I hope that's showing a clear enough image. Right, so my little butterfly basket, I want that to go here. So that's going to be the door. So as I put that down and I go and get my lid, I've got to make sure that that all fits on nicely. So I'm just scooting all my pieces around. Oh, that's just so pretty. I'm just trying to get it dead center. before I tip it. And that is my little conservatory box. Yes, I don't know how high up I can get my camera without it going blurred, but that's the lid. Now if you wanted to, as I said, you know, you can cut those pieces out and insert acetate so that it's see-through, but because this is the first time I've done it, I was kind of worried about losing the integrity of the box. Now what I can tell you is that I've got a little butterfly here. I'm just going to put some tape on it because I want to stick it on a leaf. Oops. Well, actually it's not a little butterfly, it's quite a big butterfly. But I've got those little pieces and I don't know if they'd fit in there. Probably not. But you could certainly put a little decorative piece on the top. I'm not going to add one. But, a little gemstone or a ribbon pull with a big knot on top in white ribbon, I think, for something like this. But isn't that lovely? I really enjoyed making that. But you could use stamps in the windows. You know, the lid comes off. I've used good quality cardstock, so you can hear that. It's really, really solid. Just really pretty. Right, that is what I've got for you today, and I do hope that you enjoyed that. Now, I can tell you I am not up tomorrow because I have a doctor appointment, but I will be back on Friday. So you have an absolutely awesome day. I thank you so much for joining me today, and as usual, all links below. Let's have a last look. Bye.